Pada suatu hari di pagi Isnin, beberapa orang calon sedang menunggu giliran untuk menduduki temuduga perguruan di bilik menunggu. Pelbagai reaksi yang kita dapat lihat, ada yang berbual dengan rakan, ada yang sedang fokus mengulang kaji dan mungkin ada juga yang sedang menghadapi masalah.
Tak ada orang lagi lah. Tak apalah.
Baru pukul 7.45 rupanya. Oh, sangat ni. Tak apalah, aku study je lah apa yang patut sementara tunggu yang lain sampai.
Assalamualaikum bro.
Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamualaikum. Oh, sama lah.
Aku duduk kan kan?
Ha?
Dia dekat mana?
Duduk dekat Batu Bahar. Bro, kan?
Sama lah. Batu Bahar. Nama Akram.
Oh ya, tak dapat nempel. Ini nama aku, Azfar. Kau prepare apa untuk interview ni?
Tak ada prepare apa-apa pun. Dia sedikit baca pasal perguruan. Sikit-sikit je lah.
Oh ya?
Okay.
Aku pun okey ni untuk interview ni. Aku dah prepare.
Santai je.
Santai je. Gelap bro.
Ya Allah, dah pukul 9 aku dah lambat dah ni untuk interview. Oh, nasib baik lagi ada orang kat luar ni. Aku ingat aku dah lambat. Yang kasut pun aku tak pakai lagi. Yang mamat sebelah ni pandang aku, kenapa aku cepuk kau? Macam mana lah aku boleh terlupa nak kunci jam. Sampai make up pun aku tak sempat. Baju, tudung, semua tak iron. Ya Allah, apa nak jadi dengan aku ni? Menyesal pula aku keluar semalam sampai study apa pun aku tak buat lagi. Kejap. Kenapa pakaian aku tak sama macam yang lain ni? Kenapa semua pakai baju kurung? Aku seorang je pakai baju macam ni. Yang lelaki tu aku faham lah, pakai kemeja. Yang perempuan ni, aku salah ke? Lantak lah. Janji aku sampai kat sini. Tak nak fikir apa dah.
Hello, good evening everyone. Are you guys doing good? I hope all of you in a good condition and stay safe. My name is Nurhasanah as the first presenter, along with Nabilah as the second, Dhiya Azfar as the third, Akram Fida'iy as the second last, and finally Farisha as the last presenter. Our group is the representative of the first group that will start the presentation under the course of professional development with the topic communication, interpersonal and intrapersonal communication skills. So without wasting our time, let's proceed with the next slide. Let's go!
The table of contents. So, in this slide, we have 4 subtopics that we are going to learn. Firstly is communication, which is interpersonal or intrapersonal skills. Secondly is presentation skills. Thirdly is action research. And fourthly is building positive image.
So, when we talk about communication, of course, it is required to at least to have 2 people to make the process of exchanging information happen, or in the simplest sentences, from a sender to a receiver. For instance, right now, I am the sender and you are the receiver, even though we are not meeting each other face to face, but I use this platform to deliver the message for you to receive it. It's simple, right? Oh, did you know? They have a few types of communication in this world that you can use, but today I only like to introduce only 2 types, which is interpersonal and intrapersonal communication skills. So what is interpersonal and intrapersonal communication? Let's go. Interpersonal communication is where the exchange of ideas and information happens between 2 or more people by way of any channel, like doing a group discussion in the class or having a small reunion with your long-distance friends through the Skype platform. Meanwhile, intrapersonal is where you are having a communication with oneself, or in short, it is called internal communication. Now let me help you to remember better in this part. Just remember the keyword. Inter means external or outside. Intra is internal or within yourself. So, when we talk about interpersonal communication, it can happen either face-to-face, online, over the phone, or even written form as well. As long as they have two or more people ready to exchange the information together, then it's fine. Aside from that, intrapersonal communication is known in a way only you yourself know. It can relate to your feelings, which are associated with inner thought. The monologue is the one of the best examples to share with you about what is intrapersonal communication. Now, in this slide, I will share with you the characteristics of interpersonal communication. There are 4 characteristics which are inescapable, irreversible, complex, and contextual. Now, inescapable. Even when we hold some thought inside us and do not let it out verbally, it will take its form in other nonverbal aspects. For example, shows of your mood, attitude, or your body language. Second, irreversible. Once something is written, said, or submitted, it cannot be taken back. It is forever in the minds of others or yours. The easiest example I can give you is your submitted assignment at the end of the semester. Of course, you cannot take back of your assignment to make any correction, right? Okay, number 3 is complex. There is a high chance of miscommunication between sender and receiver. Therefore, interpersonal communication is complex. Now, you need to ensure there is no interruption during the exchange of information happen. Lastly, contextual. Context is an integral part of this type of communication, and the context can be situational, environmental, and relational. For example, you are assigned to escort an important person to a formal event, so you changed the ways you are talking from casual to formal ways of speaking. Next, what about the characteristic of intrapersonal communication? They have 3 characteristics which are self-concept, perception, and expectation. For the self-concept and evaluation of one's own belief, values and attitudes, and how that evaluation plays into what occurs in the outer world. For example, you have your morning routine which you believe the routine you create can help you to have a good mood and a good day. So you decided to do the routine without a miss every day. Number 2 is perception. It is how people interpret what is going on around them. Perception can influence intrapersonal communication. For example, you saw a person who was pale on the face standing next on the stage before performing a song. So you started to think that that person will have a hard time during the performance. But it turned out that the singer showed the best he can do on the stage. Now, lastly is expectation. Based upon the intrapersonal communication with oneself and our predictions of what will happen based on the perceptions of what has happened. Now, let me tell you another example. You are working as an employee in a company for 5 years, but you still haven't gotten a promotion. So you started to work hard and improve your skills to gain the chances of getting promotion. I hope you guys can understand the examples that I give you. So if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask or leave a comment under the video. I hope you are still bear with me just a little bit more. Now here I have attached a picture of the differences between interpersonal and intrapersonal communication. The table is very straightforward to understand and easy to read. You can pause the video to read the details. Now you have almost mastered the topic of interpersonal and intrapersonal communication skills. To close the session, let me tell you how both of the communication skills work together in your career and working life. Intrapersonal skills are requirements for consistently good interpersonal skills. After all, if you don't understand your own need, you cannot easily recognize the needs of others. Then if you haven't taken care of yourself too, it can be impossible to put the focus on others. So, your interpersonal skills such as self-awareness, resilience, and positivity will allow you to be better contribute to your team or company. So, the confidence you build through the intrapersonal communication will convey a sense to others that you have yourself together. So, people will generally trust and enjoy working with other people that seem to be full positivity and strength. So, the strong interpersonal skills tend to inspire even stronger trust and collaboration. Lastly, essentially when your interpersonal skills involve a self-awareness and having an internal dialogue with yourself that will inform your interpersonal skills and the interaction you have with those around you, it can form the emotional intelligence that you can set apart from everyone. Emotional intelligence, or known as EQ, is the ability to understand, use and manage your own emotions in a positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, and diffuse conflict. It is also help you to build strong relationship, achieve your career and personal goals. Now that's all from me for the interpersonal and intrapersonal part. Let me pass the mic to Nabilah to explain more about presentation skills.
Okay, sila masuk. Okay, boleh duduk semua. Okay, jadi saya dapat list dekat depan saya sekarang ni ada beberapa orang calon. Boleh kamu semua perkenalkan diri?
Nama saya Muhammad Akram bin Lukman. Saya dari Batu Pahat, Johor. Kelebihan saya adalah mampu bekerjasama antara satu sama lain dan kira apa bangsa, agama.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. Nama saya. Sebelum ni, major course saya ialah sains sukan.
Nama saya Farisha Abdul Karim. Saya berasal dari cita-cita saya ingin menjadi seorang guru, jadi di sinilah saya berada.
Menarik. Okey, jadi untuk sesi terakhir ni, seperti yang kamu lihat di kertas arahan yang kamu dapat, telah dinyatakan bahawa kamu perlu sediakan satu topik untuk sesi pengajaran, dan ini untuk penilaian daripada pihak kami. Dan saya harap kamu semua calon sudah siap sedia dengan topik apa yang kamu nak ajar. Okey, jadi saya tak nak memasa, kita start daripada calon A, dan selepas calon A kita teruskan dengan calon B dan calon C. Okey, apa topik yang kamu bawa hari ni untuk kamu mengajar kepada kami? Silakan.
Okey. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Apa khabar semua? Okey, so apa yang awak nampak? Apa yang saya pegang pagi ni? Siapa tahu? Okey, ini adalah resistant band ataupun dipanggil sebagai jalur rintangan. Apakah kegunaan jalur rintangan ini? Terdapat beberapa kegunaan untuk jalur rintangan ini adalah seperti nampak kita ada lima apa yang saya. Betul? Dia mampu kembali ke
Okey, pertama sekali cikgu nak ajar pasal otot. Otot kita terdapat, badan kita mempunyai banyak sangat otot.
CPR ialah cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Okey, kenapa kita perlu berikan CPR? Okey, CPR akan diberikan oleh dua sebab. Kerana yang pertama ialah seseorang itu tidak bernafas, dan yang kedua ialah kerana seseorang tidak bernafas secara normal. Okey, sebelum tu CPR akan diberikan melalui dua teknik. Apa dia?
Okay, hi guys. Now you already know the concept of intrapersonal skills and also interpersonal skills communication. So, I will continue to the next point that you should know, which is presentation skills. Now, regarding the video that you already watched just now, there are a few behavior and types of ways when they want to convey the information during the interview session, right? So, what I can relate here is to ensure the message will convey successfully to the receiver during the communication process, there are a few steps that you can do to improve your presentation skills. But first and foremost, let me tell you what is the meaning of presentation skills. Presentation skills are the skills that you need in delivering the ideas, concepts, or issue effectively and engaging presentation to a variety of audience and also group. So these skills cover a variety of areas such as the structure of your presentation, the design of your slide, and the tone of your voice, and also the body language you convey, because effective presentation skills is a part of the communication. So as a future teacher, communication is very crucial part for us to have a good presentation skills, because our main role is to teach, right? So how students can understand what we are deliver if we cannot deliver the information properly? Hence, what I'm going to explain to you is the importance of presentation skills and also the proper step to have a good and effective presentation skills. Okay, before I move into the proper ways to have an effective presentation skills, let me tell you the importance of good presentation skills. First, we want to get a message across, right? So presentation skills are important to communicate more effectively so that the information that will be delivered are direct to the receiver successfully. To make you have a better understanding, there are methods that people will use such as presentation tools, show passion by connect with audience, and just keep it simple, which is focus on your core message so that other people no need to think and feel stressed to understand the message that you have delivered. Okay, so there are 3 basic steps needed to make an effective presentation. Firstly is planning. So, in the context of planning, you have to know what is the purpose of your presentation. Once you know your purpose, it's easier for you to achieve your objective during the presentation. Then the next point is identify who will be your audience. I give you an example as student. Of course, as a student, presentation is like our main assessment that we face every semester, right? Just like what I am doing right now. So the main objective of my presentation is I want all of my audience, which is my classmates, understand well and bear in mind what is the best way we can do to get an effective presentation skills. So if you know your objective, know your target audience, you will be able to build your self-confidence during the presentation and well prepared of what you are going to deliver. Okay? Now let's move on to the second point, which is preparation. You have to decide your message in advance and have a strong point what you are going to talk about. For example, let's say you want to talk about trending issue related to physical and health education among teachers. Then your main point must be about physical and health education issues, not about science, not about mathematics subject, and so on. Okay? Next is organize the point logically. So you have to determine what point you will talk about at the beginning. For example, you can think some creative ideas to attract your audience. Maybe you can create a quiz or play some activities so that they will be eager to listen and enjoy throughout your presentation. Other example that I give to you is by organizing some materials such as create a PowerPoint slide if needed, but make sure you summarize your point clearly and do not put too much wording on your slide. And the most importantly is the color and the font size you will use is pleasantly to read. Okay? Next preparation you can do is rehearsal or practice in private. This way you can improve your speaking smoothly and can boost your self-esteem at the same time. And you also can practice your speech delivery of your presentation in private, because as a wise saying, practice makes perfect. For example, you can practice in front of the mirror or in front of your close friend, because I believe the more you practice, the more fluent your words to present and more confident you will be to deliver your content. To communicate effectively during presentation, you need to be able to present your information clearly. But you need to know that presentation skills doesn't just mean knowing how to put a good set of PowerPoint slides together only. But it means you have to engaging and connecting with an audience to get your message across. So the last step of how to have an effective presentation skills is during the delivery process. So the individual, which is the presenter itself, play a vital role to ensure the information we convey to the audience is successful. The presenter can control the delivery in a few main aspects. For the first aspect, which is voice projection, you have to speak clearly, not too fast, And should be better if you have your intonation of your speech and try to avoid technical terminology or being stammered like okay? So the audience will easily catch what you are going to say. Next point is eyes and face expression. The audience is watching your face during a presentation, right? So when you speak, your face tells more clearly than any other part of your body about your attitude, feelings and emotion. So make sure you make an eye contact and smile confidently towards your audience who listening to your presentation all the time. If you look away from audience, they might not interested to listen to your presentation. You should not look too much on your notes or look back at your slides so that they will feel the connection with you. Okay? I hope you understand this point. Last but not least is the body language. It is called as non-verbal communication. Make sure match what you are saying with your voice and your body language. And the most importantly is control your body posture. For example, do not sway your body while you are talking, cross your leg repetitively or shuffle your feet back and forth. It might interrupt your audience to focus on your speech. Alright, to have an effective presentation skills, remember, communication is a vital role to deliver information. If you fail to communicate properly and confidently during presentation, that means you also might be failed to achieve your objective of your presentation. That's all from me. Now, my friend will continue about the action research in communication.
Encik Akram yang merupakan salah seorang calon temuduga berjaya mendapat keputusan untuk melanjutkan kerjayanya dalam bidang perguruan dan beliau telah dihantar untuk menjadi seorang pendidik di Tangkak High International School.
Akram, bangunlah. Dah pukul 10 ni. Kau tak tiba bangun lah? Alang-alang tu kau cek sekali result interview hari tu.
Wah tu 10 dah ingat awal lagi.
Y'all say do it, share, like.
Weh, kau dapat weh?
Ya. Alhamdulillah, syukur ya Allah. Berapa?
Ya,
Saya nak tanya macam mana saya nak tingkatkan mutu pengajaran saya ketika pendidikan.
Oh, macam ni? Tak, sekarang saya tengah ada target ni lah. Banyak awak jumpa saya balik boleh?
Boleh tu? Okey. Cikgu Azfar.
Ya, saya. Aduh, apa buat lagi?
So, macam mana yang pertanyaan saya tu?
Saya ada hari ni, jadi dalam pukul 11 ni boleh tak? Sekarang ni awal ni, boleh tak?
Boleh tu. Terima kasih.
Salam. Awak lagi.
Ada kelas ni tu? Ada kelas ni?
Tak ada. Saya biasa tak ada kelas. Saya senior kan?
Cikgu, saya nak tanya cikgu lah. Lagi-hari lah saya tanya cikgu. Rasa macam sangat cikgu pula. Macam mana saya nak naikkan dia punya mutu pengajaran ketika pendidikan ni?
3 kali awak jumpa saya. Kali kali ketiga awak jumpa saya. Tapi awak tak dapat lagi jalan penyelesaian.
Saya baru belajar lagi cikgu.
Awak baru belajar tu masalah awak ke masalah saya?
Masalah cikgu, panggil cikgu.
Lepas ni jangan jangan tulis.
Okey cikgu. Apalah kalau cikgu Azfar tak tolong. Buat edisi sendiri je lah. Mana
Now, let's move to action research. What is action research? Action research is a process in which participants examine their own educational practice systematically and carefully using the techniques of research. Action research is based on the following assumptions. Teachers and principals work based on problems they have identified for themselves. Teachers and principals become more effective when encouraged to examine and assess their own work and then consider ways of working differently. Teachers and principals help each other by working collaboratively. Working with colleagues helps teachers and principals in their professional development.
Before we go any further about action research, I will explain a brief history about action research. According to McFarlane and Stencil 1993, Godwin, a social psychologist and educator, developed action research in the United States during 1940. The phrase action research was created by Lewin to characterize work that combined study and action to solve a problem. Next, action research in education was pioneered by Stephen Curry at Columbia University Teachers College. He felt that involving educators in both study and application of information will bring about change. Instead of generalization, Curry believed the significance of action research is the change in everyday practice. He understood the need for teacher-research collaboration. According to McFarlane and Stencil 1993, action research was challenged as unscientific, common sense, and the work of amateur in middle 1950s. Action research reappeared in 1970s. Practitioners in education questioned the use of scientific research design and methodology to tackle educational difficulties. Many of these federally supported studies were considered as purely speculative. Action research is now again visible and valued. The definition has evolved throughout the time. According to Nofke and Stevenson, 1995, it is now widely seen as a tool for professional growth, putting the instructor in the spotlight. It is specific attention allow from a fresh engagement educational change.
There are four types of action research. Firstly is individual teacher research. Individual teacher research usually focuses on a single issue in the classroom. The teacher may be seeking solutions to problems or classroom management, instructional strategies, use of materials, or student learning. Teachers may have support of their supervisor or principal, and instructor for a course they are taking, and parents. Secondly is collaborative action research. Collaborative action research may include a few as two teachers or a group of several teachers and others interested in addressing a classroom or department issue. This issue may involve one classroom or a common problem shared by many classrooms. These teachers may be supported by individuals outside of the school, such as university or community partner. Thirdly is school-wide action research. School-wide research focuses on issues common to all. For example, a school may have a concern about the lack of parental involvement in activities and is looking for a way to reach more parents to involve them in meaningful ways. Example of action research is for a school could be to examine their state test score to identify areas that need improvement and then determine a plan of action to improve student performance. Teamwork and individual contributions to the whole are very important to develop a process and make commitment to each other. Fourthly is district-wide research. District-wide research is far more complex and utilizes more resources, but the rewards can be great. Issues can be organizational, community-based, performance-based, or processes for decision-making. A district may choose to address a problem common to several schools or one of organizational management.
Now, let's move to the step of action research. Within all the definition of action research, there are four basic themes, which are empowerment of participants, collaboration through participation, acquisition of knowledge, and social change. So, what is the first step? First of all is identification of problem area. Teachers typically have multiple questions they want to research, but it is vital to focus on one that is significant and achievable in their daily job. Planning ahead of time will reduce frustration and false beginning. Second, collection of organization of data. Collecting data is a key step in deciding what to do. Multiple data sources are used to be better understand classroom or school events. There are several ways to collect data such as portfolio, interview, journal, photos, and memo. Pick the data that best fit to the topic. Use data from at least 3 sources. Organize the data to detect trends and themes. Data can be sorted by gender, class, grade, or school. Third, interpretation of data. Analyze and identify important topic. In some cases, teacher may use class data, individual data, or subgroup data. It is possible to access some data without using statistic or technical support. Non-quantifiable data can be analyzed holistically and key themes recognized. Fourth, action based on data. Create a plan of action based on your data collecting and literature review to make a change and study it. Only one variable can be changed. Any experiment, it is impossible to tell which action caused the outcome. Continually document and collect performance data while implementing the new technique. Last one is reflection. Evaluate the intervention impact to see if it worked. Does the action clearly show an improvement? If not, what modification may be made to improve result?
After all the components of action research, now we move to the benefits of action research. There are few benefits of action research. First is focus on school issue, problem, or area of collective interest. Research done with the teachers, student in a setting with which the teacher is familiar helps to confer relevance and validity to a discipline study. Often, academic research is seen as disconnected from the daily life of educators. While this might not always be true, it can be very helpful for teachers to pick up threads suggested in academic circle and weave them into their own classroom. Second is form of teacher professional development. Research and reflection allow teachers to grow and gain confidence in their work. Action research project influence thinking skill, sense of efficiency, willingness to share and communicate, and attitudes toward the process of change the teachers. Third is collegial interactions. Isolation is one of the downsides of teaching. Teachers are often the sole adult in a room of children and have little or no time scheduled for professional conversations with others. Action research in pair or by teams of teachers allow time to talk with others about teaching and teaching strategies. By working on this theme, teachers must describe their own teaching styles and strategies and share their thoughts with others. Through this discussion, we can see the increase of sharing and collaboration across departments, disciplines, grade levels, and schools.
Fourth is potential to impact school change. When teachers engage in action research, they tend to focus on issues that affect the school or district rather than the individual teacher. By doing so, we foster new form of collaboration and sharing. Also, knowledge about teaching and learning may be included. Fifth, reflect on own practice. Teachers really have formal opportunities to evaluate themselves in schools. Action research allows teachers to take a methodological look at their own teaching. While action research primarily focuses on students, educators can also study how their teaching affects students, how they can better collaborate with colleagues, and how to improve the school as a whole. Conversation might shift from fixing to understanding. Last but not least, improve communication. Individuals in a school or district team up for a common goal. Action researchers become more adaptable and receptive to new ideas.
Berita jam 9 malam. Selepas membuat perbincangan di Parlimen, Kementerian Pelajaran Malaysia bersama Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia mengambil keputusan untuk membenarkan semula pembukaan sekolah-sekolah di seluruh Malaysia mulai minggu hadapan.
Azfar. Saya nak kamu bangga kawan main. Saya nak pergi kantin sekejap. Saya lapar. Boleh kamu main dulu Hati-hati je. Jaga kesempatan Okey.
Cikgu! Aspa je!
Kan saya dah cakap tadi. Main hati-hati. Kenapa ni?
Tadi saya nak cakap lepas tu saya terjatuh
Saya dah cakap tadi kan. Main hati-hati, jaga keselamatan. Apa ni? Abang saya telefon dulu. Nombor mak ayah awak. Okey, cikgu nak kamu buat separuh bulatan depan cikgu sekarang. Cepat. Yang kat sana tu cepat sikit. Okey. Semua datang tak?
Datang cikgu.
Bagus. Okey, dah sarapan ke belum?
Belum.
Tak apa. Nanti lepas kelas boleh makan tau. Okey, semua sihat ke tak?
Sihat.
Alhamdulillah. Okey, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan selamat pagi. Sebelum tu kamu ingat tak? Minggu lepas kita belajar teori pasal apa? Skill apa yang kita belajar? Bola balik. Betul. Okey, agak-agak kamu hari ni kita nak buat apa?
Main bola balik
yes, cikgu. Betul. Hari ni kita akan main bola balik. Okey, sebelum kita lakukan aktiviti, cikgu nak kamu buat warm up dulu, boleh tak?
Boleh cikgu.
Okey, boleh. Okey, kita buat sekarang, okey?
Okey, go.
Buat.
Jom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Selepas anda tonton dari episod 1 hingga kini, kita dapat lihat bahawa komunikasi memainkan peranan yang sangat besar dalam kehidupan seharian kita, terutamanya dalam dunia pekerjaan. Aksi yang kita dapat lihat di dalam episod sebelum ini mungkin atau sedang berlaku di dalam situasi sebenar di alam pekerjaan, terutama dalam bidang perguruan. Ia merupakan salah satu cabaran yang harus diatasi untuk menjadikan anda seorang pekerja yang bertanggungjawab dan menjadi seorang guru yang berkaliber di mata masyarakat. Akhir sekali, kami berharap semoga video ini dapat memberikan pengajaran dan tauladan untuk kita semua. Terima kasih.
Hello everyone. I hope that you guys are still okay. Now it's my turn to share some knowledge to all of you. Have you watched the video? Yes? Okay, good. So today I'm going to relate the video with the topic that we are going to learn, which is building a positive image. In that video, you can see that teacher Nabilah is performing her duties with full of dedication and responsibilities. Meanwhile, teacher Farisha is doing things that a teacher are not supposed to do. Are you agree with me? Yes? Okay. As a teacher, we must build a positive image towards the student. But what is the meaning of positive image? Let's go to another slide. Okay guys, positive image or positive self-image is having a personal good view or mental picture of ourselves. Self-image is an internal dictionary that describes the characteristic of the self, including such things as intelligent, beautiful, talented, and kind. So, these characteristics form a collective representation of our strengths and weaknesses. From that, can you imagine how positive image can influence others people or our surrounding? As a teacher, we act as a role model to the students because we are the person that they look up to learn from, and to remember for the rest of their lives. So to conclude, you have to show the good attitude so that you can set an example or be an example to those around you. Okay class, positive image. Positive image can be divided into two categories, which are appearance and personal behavior. I bet that every of you know the meaning of it. Let me tell you again. Appearance is the way that someone or something looks. The characteristic of positive appearance is wearing a proper attire, having a good hygiene, and always dressed neatly from head to toe. So, you can see the example of good appearance in the slide as shown by Azfar and Nabilah. So, appearance is very important because it can give others an impression of your professionalism. It also can boost your confidence and self-esteem when communicate or meet anyone. So next, let's talk about personal behavior. Personal behavior defined as a person's manifestation of personality based on combination of its genes and experiences in life. To make it simple, you can say that it is an attitude or habit or something that you act by yourself. For example, is responsibility, lazy, showing concern, selfish, and hot-tempered. So, personal behavior plays a vital role in order to build a positive image because people surrounding us will observe based on what they see. So bear in your mind, positive personal behavior can lead to a positive environment. For example, in a group of teachers who are working together, as Hasanah said before, they can build trust and collaboration together. So that is the positive personal behavior. What a long presentation, right? Be patient, just a little bit more and we are done. We continue with manners and etiquette of positive image. I know that it's not easy to have or to build a positive image, but in order to be a successful person or teacher, you have to. So, the first manners or etiquette that you must have is punctuality. As a school teacher, it was abide by the school's contracted hours for teachers to show up on time or even early for all works functions, for example, meetings, teaching and learning, and school's event. If you do need to leave early, let your principal or administrator know ahead of time. Most of the time, they will understand, particularly of these absences are infrequent or if they are aware with your problems. Secondly is effectiveness. To be an effective and efficient teacher, you must know how to use your work time effectively and appropriately. For example, as a teacher, you can do a planner or timetable before going to school in order to make your day run smoothly or effectively. Please avoid inappropriate behavior such as checking your social media and having extended chit-chat session with friends during working hours. I know that most of the teachers are way too busy during the day to even think about this, but I have seen it and feel that it should be said. Okay, last but not least, the manners and etiquette that you should have is respectful. Okay, respect, also called esteem, which a positive feeling or action shown towards someone or something considered important. It conveys a sense of admiration for good or valuable qualities. Respecting each other is very important because it shows a sign of you respect somebody for who they are, isn't it? Alright, so you must respect the people around you regardless of your level or employment. Whoever you are, which is if you are a doctor, if you are an engineer, if you are a teacher, what kind of job that you have, you must respect each other. So, let me give you an example. In a meetings, we must respect others' teachers' decision and opinions. And then you must avoid from using cell phones and refrain from conversing with other teachers. Whatever your role in the meeting, you should not be checking your cell phone or computer unless there is some type of emergency. If you need to contact someone during a longer training session or meeting, step out of the room discreetly or wait for a break. Okay, so I end my presentation with a quote. The quote sounds like this: you have to treat people the way you want to be treated. Respect is earned but not given. So that's all from me. Thank you for lending me your time and ears. Bye. Before we end our presentation, let me test your brain. Let's go.
As a conclusion, which is better, interpersonal or intrapersonal? They are both equally as important when it comes to having a better career and more successful relationships. In order to work well with others, you need interpersonal skills such as listening, empathy, and leadership. Those skills are amplified by greater development of intrapersonal skills such as compassion, self-concept, and visualization. Use both sets of skills when interviewing, communicating with others professionally and personally. That's all from us. Thank you for lending your ears. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.